Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. Oh, excuse me. I have a quick what has been on my table project share and why I've been missing a little bit on YouTube. As most of you know, my husband had a cochlear implant about 3 years ago, which was a great success because he had one dead ear and he had one ear that had a hearing aid. And now about 10 months ago, the hearing aid was no good to him. You know, you pay a lot of money for those because that ear now has gone dead. So we're just grateful and thankful that he had the cochlear implant so that we can communicate and he can communicate with others. So he decided to pursue a second cochlear implant, and it was, the test showed that he was a candidate. We've just been in Brisbane, and I'm just going to move this. It's going to look a bit funny. So he was a candidate for a second cochlear implant, so we're both very excited. But because he has a balance issues, for anyone that out there is listening and has got a cochlear implant, for anyone, and he has a balance issue and a little bit of vertigo, but mainly balance issues. So he'll have a good days and then maybe a bad day where he does have the wobbles, and he'll just go on the computer and do his geology research and stuff. On the good days, he'll go out in the garden or, you know, do his woodwork and stuff. So, but what's happened is that the specialist was a bit hesitant in giving him the second implant because it could go either way. It could mean that the balance could be worse, meaning walking stick, or worst case scenario, on a walker. So that was a bit disappointing in the fact, but so we had to come back home and think about it, and in the meantime he's been researching a bit on Facebook. He belongs to a cochlear group here in Australia, and lo and behold, when he put it out there, there's been a few people that have the same issues and decided not to pursue it because they would rather have one good ear with quality of life so that he can, you know, still do stuff. So at the moment, that's where we're at, and that's what he's decided to do, just to back right off. And yes, so he just needs to get it remapped more regularly, meaning fine-tuning. Takes about 5 years, I think. But at least we can communicate. He can now talk on the phone. It's all been adjusted, so on his mobile, which is just great. Apart from that, you know, just life, and also my friend who's got that, who's being treated for the big C. Oh, please, all my across the world, international crafty friends, please hold her up in your prayers. She's having a really rough time, and I'm really scared. You know, she's my op shop buddy whenever we go to the big smoke, and I love her to bits. So yeah, so with all that, I've just been sort of crafting at night time. I've been making journals, and I've been you know, trying to put some of good energy into me, because all these sort of things bring you down a little bit. And I'm just going to get teary here, so I'm not going to go into it any further. So I've been using up some scraps, and Bonnie, if you're watching this, you know, you would love to see all this. I've making some booklets for when we come back, because we'll be away for 5 days at the end of the week. And so I want to make some stuff, and I'm going to take it with me because I want to do a little bit of collaging, covering these up. These are the, move it out of the way, these are the Bunnings paint swatch, you know, we all know about these. And I bought all these home ages ago to use in a boho journal, and I think I only used one out of it. But so that's that. And then most of you ladies probably know about these from IGA. Shop Scratch and Win. That was out a few months ago, and I've kept some of them, and I'm going to make booklets out of them as well. I sanded them to get the shine off. I could gesso them, but I haven't got much gesso left, so when we're away I'll go to Spotlight and or a dollar shop, you know, and I can make it myself as well if I don't get around to buying it. So, but I sanded them with just some, you know, crappy old sandpaper that my husband used, and I take the offcuts. So yeah, so they're going to be made into little booklets and little tags, and I've finished a couple, and I'll share them with you. These ones I covered with fabric, okay. This one's stitched around, covered with coffee dyed paper. I haven't decorated them yet because depending what journal they go into and what the theme is, that's when I'll decorate. Here I've actually made a little belly band and made one of my little flip out scrappy little envelopes. It just tucks in here, okay. And then this one is a piece of fabric that I have that has all these beautiful vintage prints on it. So I've just chopped a piece off to show me the top right there. And again, a belly band, a tag. And here I've used a couple of scraps because that's why you see the seam there. Just wanted to use them up. So that's what they are. And then last week I've made, now what do I do with that now? Oh, here it is. I've made one of these, okay, and this was those, just with fabric. Now, where do I see that? Might have been, I think it was Pamela from Paper Outpost, I think. So yes, I just used scraps of fabric. So I might have a sip of my coffee. Done, and yes, I thought, oh, I can use all my bits that I've, you know, I was going to make a journal out of this. Should have, but I didn't. It was a little folio that had notebook in it and envelopes and that, from the op shop, of course, you know, a big 20 cents. So I did a little bit of an owl and a bit of interest there. So what this holds, it holds all my little scrappy little clusters. So I'm not sure whether I shared these with you. You know, you just get a piece of cardstock that you're not really happy with. Like I've got some of this here and some paper, or, you know, here I've got some cardstock that I would never use that colour. The same with this. And what I've done is because I've already used quite a few, is that I've, you know, just glued on papers, various papers and corrugated cardboard, and then I glued some fabrics on, or some doilies. Then I tore it all, and then I stitched and decorated them, and that's how they come out. Aren't they unreal? And this one here is actually a label from a piece of clothing. It had Inspire on it. It must be the name of the label. And I thought, well, hello. So I cut that out and stuck it on there. So that's what these are. Little clusters. So they just go in here. And then I've made this little pocket from book paper. We all make these. And did a bit of collage. This is an end of a zipper with a snap. And I had a bit of zipper left over, so I've made a matching tag to go with it. A fair bit of collage there. I get a bit carried away actually. And just a little trim on the top, and that just sits in there. Right? How cool is that? Actually, that shouldn't be in there. So yeah, so then when I made this, I thought this will sit really nice above me on a shelf. Guess what? Made another one. Ta-da! This will be like a botanical or garden. I've already got some bits and pieces in here. You know, little snippets. This is beautiful. This is peacock, and yes, it's given me a few ideas of another journal. So yeah, so that's what, and it's just above me. You know, like a bit of handmade paper, little bits of pictures that I cut out glued onto a children's book page because it's quite thick, just to make it a bit thicker, so when I'm ready I can just back it with coffee dyed paper. But it just sits like this, and you know, once it gets full I'll be able to tie it up because that tie was already on there. All right, and that just sits above me. But wait, I really got carried away and I made a bigger one. Okay, this is from my Disney Enchanted Tales book. Look at the size of that one. And that's where my pocket will go. So yeah, so in here I'm putting in my little pockets, and I'll tell you in a minute how I made this one. I'll just put that aside. Not sure whether I show matching little booklet that goes in here, a little envelope with a rusty paper clip, not fully decorated but some. Here's one that'll go in a garden journal, and a couple of tags just in here. I think this one's got a mushroom in it. Bonnie, if you're watching. So yeah, so a bit of the handmade scrap paper from my friend. This came of a scrapbook card making magazine, Flutter by Butterfly. I buy a lot of these books from the op shop for 20 cents each, and they have some really cool pictures in them. And another one, they're not, I mean, some of them are not fully decorated because I'm not quite sure what journal they will go in. Here I've made a little pocket from a bag. I think it's one of those glassine bags. It was a cutlery bag I cut down, and I've made this little booklet here. I used a tag as a tuck with a little envelope, little note piece, and the inside from you know, your normal DL envelopes, coffee dyed. So yes, it's nice and grungy, and just a bit of collage on there, napkin, music paper, some more coffee dyed paper, cheesecloth. This came out of a magazine. And here's another pocket and book pages. Okay, and what I've done here is I've attached a bit of corrugated, stitched the clear sheet from the stamps. I keep them and then I use them. It's got one of my little envelopes in here, a little tag in there, happy thoughts, and just goes on the back here. Okay, and then I've made this little booklet. It's going into a garden journal. I think this was a really big tag, this clothing tag. I think it was Rivers or something, I can't remember. And made a little tucks, corner tucks here. Just kept it flat because I get so carried away, don't I? So they go in here. And then last night I made these. Did a bit of decoupaging, and I folded that over. It's from one of my experimental painty sort of papers, and I did some dressmaking paper and then painted it, and yeah, just didn't really like it that much, but this turned out all right. And that's got a little hidden tuck spot just in there, and it goes right through to the other side, just there, so that I can use it either side. Okay, when the time comes. Here I've made a tag for my time card, decoupaged, little plain card of a napkin, my little envelopes. Decoupage this girl, but only half the face. I thought, oh, that looks real. I wanted to do something different. And then this is decoupaged, different napkin as well. And I've left the string to put beads on, okay? So, and this is the border of the napkin that I used for the top. This is a really cool tag. I really like this. Very simple, but you know, it looks, you know, quite effective. So yeah, but they won't go in there because they're pockets. So then what I've done is, because I've collaged the back, I end up painting experimenting various paints and stamping, and you know, and I thought, oh, I've got all this room here, what can I, you know, I need something on there. I use the tissue box. I love these tissue boxes because of all the native plants on there. So I put them on here, and I inked it with my my dollar shop little ink pads here, and wanted to get rid of the white and just stamped a little butterfly stamp on there. And this holds all my book page pockets. Okay, these are just decoupage, not decorated, fully decorated, just handy to have. And these are just your normal ones, just handy to have. It's got one of my little flip out envelopes here, and these are things I do at night time when it's been a really hectic day or stressful day. You know, you just lose yourself, and that's what's in here. So that's what that. And then of course, you know, like, you just keep going, don't you? I use one of my faux leather look file folders. This was a blue one. You can see the blue come through. Just love the texture. I have to make some more because I've just sold my last horse journal. Thank you very much. Had a bit of strip left over, so I've made it into a pocket. And yeah, so this holds a few, mainly holds, well, one of the pockets holds just single pictures of ladies. This came off the front of a card that someone made me. I can't remember who it was. If you're watching and it was you, just let me know. Yes, and just some bits and pieces. Here I've made a little accordion envelope with my, and now I've pulled it out, with my painty papers. I wanted to see what that looks like. Quite sturdy, and I've popped in eyelet, just some magazine page in that. Okay, just a couple of those. So that's just on there. And again, one of those cutouts from the plastic sheet of stamps, those clear stamp sets, and that just ties up and then just goes in the back here. And what I've done is with this, I've scored it a few times just so that it's round. Now I haven't put a closure on this yet. I'll probably put a braid on there and close it up. I was going to do a magnetic, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to stuff this. And what I've done is I've actually used cardstock. Okay, I was gifted a lot of cardstock. Look at that, all different colors. But what I did was I actually sewed in the middle to really secure it, and because, you know, it wouldn't tear because it's so thick. So I thought the sewing machine would be just perfect. And then I stitched the sides, except for this one, I run off the edge. Good one, Krista, but that's okay, it's just for me. And so yes, and they're really big pockets, aren't they cool? So and this one of course holds all my little cutouts from magazine or what I've printed out from Pinterest, just all single pictures. Okay, so yeah, so that's what that holds, and it just, you know, just like this. So I probably will put a braid on that. And then of course the last one I got really carried away, and I'm just having a look here, it's just come undone. Yes, I will have to put a braid on that because it's just going to come undone otherwise. Okay. And it's just above me, like it's just all arm's reach, you know, it's fantastic. I've made some more, but what I did was, look what I scored. Okay, this is like handmade paper. I don't know if it's commercially handmade or actually handmade, but I got this from the op shop a long time ago, and someone was going to make a photo album. It had string and sticks along here, and then it had these pages with all the twine as corners, and then tissue paper. Okay, so I thought, well, I'm not going to use it, I'm going to take it apart. I know you'll probably all go, oh no, I know. Well, I did, and I decided to use it as a accordion folder. cover type thing, envelope, and I collaged the inside, okay? And that's what I come up with. So you'll be happy to know I've made some to put in my Etsy store, but they're not decorated, they're just plain so that you can decorate them yourself. So I've got a small one attached on here, and then I've got the big one, and it's pretty easy. And what I've done is I've actually used my punch to cut out some book pages. I think there's 2 or 3 glued together just to give it a bit more strength for the big brad, because these are quite big. And look, aren't they cool? I used some magazine papers. Again, this book was huge, depicting tapestries from the early 18 to 1900s, but it was a new book, shiny pages and all that, so I used those pages as pockets. And only this folder will hold all my most of my Tim Holtz paper dolls. These are the medium size, okay? Men are just over here, and then all the ladies at the front here. So that's my medium size. That was the whole idea. These are just little snapshot photos, Tim Holtz. This one will holds my smaller ones. That's why I've put these ladies in here to remind me I've got the tiny ones in this envelope, and I've made them pockets with my painty papers, and they're quite big, and these are just glued, okay, and stitched, but they all hold my small ones, and the big ones are in my filing cabinet because I rarely use them, but I wanted to use these ones to so they're on hand, because I'd like to use them up. It's no use having them you know, just sitting there in my filing cabinet. And that just close up just like that. So I stitched all this around. Really, really awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it. And as a matter of fact, oh no, this is Tim Holtz. It's the wrong one. So yeah, so that's what that is. And I might put these, now that I've got some spare pockets, I might put them in here. There you go. Okay. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to, and I'll give you a very quick sneak peek. Here they are, and I've numbered them 1 to 4, and some on the back, and this will be in my Etsy store. And no, I didn't make the bag. And then of course my two-piece boho set I'll be sharing in my next video. And the next video will be tonight, about 7:30 live, Tuesday evening here in Australia. So if you want to come on board, please do, because I think this boho set will take more than half an hour on my phone. All right, that's my quick share. So I hope you have a good day. I'm going to have a good day today. And thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And I'll see you tonight. Bye for now.